Hey, welcome back to the Black Wallflowers podcast. We are your hosts. I am Myra,
I'm Taylor.
and we are two Black introverted women navigating through an extroverted world.
Right. So I do have a random topic today. Well, I guess it's not really random, but I was catching up on some YouTube after work today. And Ricky Smiley, he has a YouTube channel and sometimes he puts, some of the clips on there from the show. And the one he posted, I believe it was yesterday, they were talking about um at what age do you kick your child out of the house? Like basically what age is too old where you shouldn't be staying at your parents' house. So my question is, like, when you were younger, where did your mom tell you, hey, you're almost 18, you better, start, planning out where you're gonna go and that kind of thing? Like, what did y'all ever had that kind of conversation, or like what was your story as far as when you were an adult or getting ready to graduate high school or what?
Um, no, never really had that conversation. Because I was planning on living on campus. I actually didn't turn because the way my birthday is set up, I didn't turn 18 until after I graduated anyway.
Mm,
Um, so I was 17 when I graduated. But no, never really had that conversation because I had already been planning pretty much. I think I was an early bloomer, I guess, because I had been planning going to college since like the second half of my sophomore year. So I kind of already had a plan set up, so that conversation never really happened.
mm,
Um, but I don't think, like, right now my sister's actually about to be 18 in like 2 weeks or so.
mm,
Um, and she's like just like trying to figure out how to have that conversation because on the flip side, like my
mm,
sister, I don't really want to say like not into school, but she's not into school like I was into school. Like I kind of had this map out of what I wanted to do already, although it didn't necessarily work out that way. But um, she's just kind of a go with the flows kind of person. So she's not looking into any schooling or anything. So now she has to kind of have that conversation of what she's going to
mm.
do. But even then, she said that she don't want to just kick her out because she ain't ready. I mean, I think it really depends on the child.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. I know for us, like, we were never told, hey, y'all about to be 18, y'all about to graduate in a couple months. What are y'all's plans to get up out my house? But it was,
Mm-hmm.
I think for us, it was like, um, we were because, well, you know this, but for the listeners, I have a twin sister, and we were the last of the five of us. And everybody was out of the house. And so I think maybe just within ourselves, we felt the pressure to get out of the house shortly after, graduating, so that my mom can finally have her time, her empty nest, because she had my oldest sister when she was like 15 or 16, I think. So I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe we just kind of felt pressure within ourselves to get out of the house. But I graduated. I never really came back until like winter break or spring break or whatever, where campus was closed. And then even in the summer, I worked for the school, so I stayed on campus during the school year as well. And then my third year was when we finally got our own apartment. But after I graduated high school, I pretty much never really came back. But I didn't really have the pressure either to want to leave. But yeah, that is tough though. But I do think every child is different though, and every family is different.
Yeah, I wonder what like made y'all feel like y'all had to leave if it wasn't necessarily said.
I don't know. I guess because there was five of us, she did it all on her own. Um, and then the third child, my brother, he's like 6 years older than us, but he had just left maybe like we graduated in, May or June. I think he left like maybe in like the winter or something like that. So now she's like, okay, I got, three out of the five out of the house. Now these girls getting ready to graduate. I wonder. So I don't know. Maybe it was just the fact that we were literally the last two in the house, and how hard she worked to, raise us all on her own and everything. So yeah, I think it was just an internal thing, but we never really had that conversation though.
Yeah, that's just kind of weird. I wonder if it was like, I don't know, one of those things like where it was said but it wasn't technically said out loud, or I
Mm,
don't know. Cuz like
maybe.
I'm on the flip side, like cuz I'm the oldest, like I'm the first like grandchild even on like both sides too. So it wasn't like I had a cousin or another sibling to like, see go through the process. I pretty much was the first the guinea pig, I guess.
Mm,
So I never really had like that, oh, such and such left the house at this age. So I don't know, it's just I just thought that was interesting.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's my random.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one though.
Yeah.
That could be a whole topic for
Right.
real. Well, my random thought for today, I think you'd probably be able to relate to it. Um I don't think my mama listened to this, so but
Oh.
because she was like, I told her like, oh yeah, I had to record the podcast tonight. She was like, oh yeah, I still doing that podcast thing. So I don't think she listened to it. But, we were like kind of having a conversation, and she was asking me like what were my thoughts, like kind of piggybacking off of yours, like my sister's getting ready to leave, will graduate from high school, and she was like, well, what are your thoughts on kind of discussing with her what she should do like after she graduate, because she doesn't really have a plan. And I'm
Mm,
like, I don't know, I ain't never had to deal with this before, but uh, it's just kind of strange. Like, I don't know if you had this, but I seem like ever since I had Ashton, like my mom and my grandparents like kind of asked me like quote unquote parenting advice. And I was
mm,
like, I wonder if that happens like to you. Like, do you feel like people come to you? And then it's like parenting advice that I haven't even experienced yet. Like, my son graduated, he's one. I don't know what to tell you about the
right.
the graduation stuff. I mean, I could give my advice, but at the end of the day, I don't know if it's sympathize or empathize, but either way, it ain't my experience. So
Mm.
although I feel where you coming from, but I can't give any advice on it. So I don't know if it's that happened to you since you had the boys.
Um, Not really from like my mom or anybody, but like maybe people with younger kids.
Yeah.
They ask me stuff, but I mean, I get that because now our kids are, 7, almost 8 years old now. Um, but no, other than that, no. Like my mom has never said, hey, what do you think about, this for so and so? Um, no, no. What was your
Yeah.
response to her though?
Um,
You don't know.
I well, partially that because I'm like, how am I supposed to answer this? But just I just feel like it just need to be a conversation. Something that, especially on my mom's side of the family, we don't really communicate that well. Like, we just
Mm,
assume that the other person knows like what we're thinking or how we're feeling, and then 3-4 months down the road, it just kind of blows up. Like,
mm,
I don't know, it's weird. My dad's side is completely opposite, but but I was telling her like I just think y'all need to have a conversation. Like, there is a lot going on. I mean, it's her senior year and there's a lot of extra stuff going on too.
mhm,
So just talk it out. Like, you can't just sit there and expect her to be okay when you're not saying anything, you're not discussing anything, and her graduating is coming up quick. Like, it's
I
already
was just about
February.
to say that. It's January now. She about to
Yeah.
graduate. that conversation probably should have happened her junior year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's just, I mean, that's all I could give. Like, honestly, only thing I could think of is like, what would I have wanted from my mom if, back then, if I
Mm,
was in my sister's shoes, basically. So, I mean, I kind of gave her that advice on that point, but I don't know, that hasn't even been like the first thing, or it would be like people would ask me like about kindergarten and stuff like that. Like, where do I want to put them in school? Like, I, I,
wow.
I'm trying to figure out, feeding schedules. I I'm not there yet, but it just seemed like people would ask me like advice on stuff that I haven't even experienced yet, and I haven't had that up until I had actually. So that was mine. So it just seems weird. I mean, I guess now they feel like, oh, you got a child, so you can come in on this conversation. But I
An
really
opinion.
can't.
Mm,
All right, so this week we are kind of discussing our insecurities. Um, we just thought it'd be a good topic to kind of open up a little bit
mm-hmm,
and discuss, what we're a little bit insecure about. I know we didn't really like discuss like the format of it, but I just kind of picked two out of my running list of insecurities
mm-hmm.
that I feel comfortable with like talking about. I don't know if that's okay with you or
Yeah.
how you
Mhm.
want. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I guess I could start, then you can go with one. Like
Okay.
go back and forth. Okay. So I guess right now, like really going off the topic for my that's random. One of my biggest ones is like pretty much motherhood in general.
Mm,
Because like it doesn't come with a manual. I feel like I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. Like I'm doing the best I can, but I also am like I don't want to mess this up. So that's like that has been like my top one on the list. And I mean, I'm technically still like a new mom. I mean, he's 1.5 now, but it's still something that's always running in my mind. And even like the littlest things, like his hair. I don't really do too much to his hair because he's 1.5, and like people ask about his hair, and like something that little like really triggers me and gives me like high anxiety. Like, am I doing it
yeah.
right? Should I be doing something to his hair? But I always have to bring myself back. Like he's 1.5. He's
Mm-hmm.
not, for one, he's not gonna let me do too much. I mean, I'm not gonna let him look insane, but he's also 1.5. It's not too
Right.
much I can really do with his hair. So I don't know, it's just little things like that logically, I mean, logically it makes sense. Like he's small. You don't really need to be manipulating his hair like that. But in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, I'm a bad mom because I didn't do something to his hair today.
Mhm.
Like. So that has been like lately one of my biggest things.
Yeah, that's pretty big too. Like, and it is a lot of pressure being a mom and a dad for real. And then like when you're out in public or even like at home or going to visit family or whatever, you're in the back of your head like, oh, like, especially like if your child is like throwing a fit or something, like, oh,
Mhm.
what's wrong with him? Like, oh, she don't know how to discipline her child. No, he's just having a day. He's just having a moment, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm always in my head. I'm the same exact way. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's easy to say, oh, I don't care what people think. But then when it comes to you being a parent is already super like is hard. And then it's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure too, because the way that you parent your child is a big part in how they're going to be when they become an adult. So it's a lot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you laying down the foundation and you don't want to mess it up, but it don't come with a manual. So you kind of have to figure out how to do it the best you can. I mean, at the end of the
Mhm.
day, I would hope that I give him the tools to be successful and he takes that, but ultimately he's going to grow up to be his own person. All I can
Mhm.
hope to do is that he listens to us and go down the, I don't want to say right route, but I don't know, a good one, I guess, because I mean there is
Right.
no right or wrong route. Like I don't want to map out his whole life for him, but I just hope he has the morals and stuff that we instill in him. But it's I guess it doesn't stop as they get older.
Mm-mm. No, no.
Because it's
Let's take
just
it.
overwhelming. Because somebody always got something to say about how you
Mm-hmm.
doing something. Whether it's like, I mean, with social media, that's kind of a like you don't want to put too much out there because somebody's gonna misconstrue it and think it's this. But
Mm-hmm.
then also with your family too, like people just always got something to say.
Yeah, always got an opinion.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my biggest one right now. I'm trying to work through it as far as like, because I feel like I get high anxiety rather worrying about what people are going to think about him or what people's going to think about me. And, right now with him in this terrible two phase, like that is like
Mhm.
heightened right now because I'm always thinking like, oh, they don't think I can control him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's two, or that's what he's supposed to do. But it's still like you worrying about people staring at you or, your family saying something about him being quote unquote bad or whatever. But what 2-year old isn't doing this?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That would be weird if he was two and not doing it.
Right. What's wrong with him? Why he's so
Yeah.
quiet? Why he's sitting
So
still?
yeah, but it's just it's strange. Like I know logically this is what's supposed to happen, but it's still like, oh, I don't want people to think, but I don't
Mhm.
know. It's kind of hard to get over.
Yeah. Sure. And I feel like honestly, that's probably one of my top insecurities as well. Just being a good mom, and then also, um, there's a lot of things that I don't share and everything. But like, if somebody asks, the boys, hey, what grade are you in? Second grade, right? And
Mhm.
they're like, no, I'm in first grade. And they look at me like, wait, aren't they 7 years old? Yeah. What was their birthday like? And then they start looking into it, like, why are they 7 years old? And first of all, it ain't none of your business. Why?
Mhm.
But then it's like, okay, did they, get stuck in kindergarten or something? Or what's going on? No, it was our parenting decision to, keep them in kindergarten another year just to mature a little bit more. And then they were born super early. They were a little bit smaller than some of the other kids at um their age. So we decided personally to hold them back, but that's something that I was insecure about for a long time. Like if somebody would just randomly ask, or at church or something, when they didn't get moved on to the next classroom because they stayed and did another year in kindergarten. Now they're in first grade now. I
Mhm.
was insecure about that because they were like, "Oh, they're seven though, so they should be in the other classroom." No, but they're in first grade, so they should stay here. So it was just, I don't know. And then you feel pressure to explain and everything, and I don't know. It I don't know. It goes back to the insecurity just with being a parent in general, and then if your child might be um maybe a little bit different than another child or something. I don't know. So it's
It's even awkward to kind of talk about.
yeah, it is. It really is. It is. But that's definitely a big thing, and yeah. But I feel like it is important to talk about too, though, especially with other moms, because I feel like even though we might not be the same, we have some similarities as well. We can kind of talk about our insecurities together. So.
Yeah, and that's something I think like parenting overall is kind of nerve wracking because even like in your situation with their grades or anything, like that could be like small talk, like you're talking to another mom in the hallway and they're like, what grade they're in, oh, how old are they, and then you kind of
Mhm.
although I'm sure the other person didn't mean to like pry or anything, but that's that,
Right.
that quote unquote small talk to like kind of be nice and stuff can open up a whole nother box of worms that
Mm-hmm.
nobody wasn't really expecting to be talking about. So it's such a thin line. And honestly,
Yeah.
that's why I love being an introvert. Like, let's not talk about this stupid
Right.
stuff.
Yes.
Like you really don't care at the end of the day. Like you see
Right.
me at a PTA meeting or something, or maybe I see you in
Mhm.
passing, but you don't care for real. So like, why are
Right.
we even doing any of this? God, but yeah, it's just it's hard because I mean that's just the way the world is. Like you're gonna run across somebody who gonna
Hmm.
bring up something that, I mean, not on purpose, but just trying to be nice, and then you kind of have to explain yourself. But I mean, you really don't
Hmm.
have to, but you feel like you do.
Right. Right. Yeah. And then you want to protect your child too from being judged or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's another can of worms as they get older too, because I mean, kids gonna start asking, and kids ain't
Hmm.
got no filter, so it's just
Right.
it's it's really tough overall. But that's something that I'm kind of worried about with putting Ashton in daycare. Like I know, just like in your situation, I'm sure that was the best decision for the boys.
Hmm.
But and I know like putting Ashton in daycare is the best thing for him. But I'm just worried about like, is he gonna be social? Because I mean, he hasn't been around any kids like his quote unquote age. It's
Hmm.
just been us and my grandparents, of course, but so adults. So I'm like, is he gonna be able to? I mean, I know not talk, but be social, like, or is he going to cling on to the workers because that's what he's used to, and they're gonna think he weird, and I don't want nobody like hurting him. Like, is he gonna be
Yeah.
naive? So it's just like
Hmm.
it's
And then the germs and
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just expecting that he gonna get sick within the day or two as soon as he come back. But yeah, it's anxiety, and then a lot of people, well, not a lot, it's a few people at work that has kids his age, and they're like, oh, my kid's been in daycare since 4 months, and I'm just like, okay.
yeah.
Well, mine has not. So it's a awkward conversation,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's one of my biggest ones. And I guess coming off of the whole new mom thing, another one of my insecurities is like body image right now and weight. Um,
Mm.
because it's just been, I don't want to say I never really had a problem with weight. Like I've always kind of been on some type of weight loss journey, but this is pretty much the biggest I've ever been in my life.
Mm.
So, and obviously, having a whole human being, that's kind of what happens. But
Mm.
it's just been something that I have been dealing with lately because although I've never been like a skinny person or anything, I always had some kind of weight on me. It's just like I don't know how to navigate in my own skin, so to speak. And things feel different, and that could be a part of like the whole going through pregnancy thing too. But it's just like I don't even know how to explain it. Like kind of like in somebody else. Like this is not me, so to speak. I don't know how to
Mm.
explain it, if that makes sense.
It does.
So it's just weird. I know a lot of people like kind of were able to bounce back, or only um like if they did gain, they were able to get it off. But like mine's
Mm.
just stuck around, like just hanging out, I guess, to watch Ashton grow up or something. I don't know. But it's just still here. And it could be a mixture of just getting older too. Like my metabolism could be slowing down. I mean, not that I'm super old or anything, but I'm not. 22 either.
Right.
Like when I first lost my weight, it just seems to just melt off, and now it's just here.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever, I mean, it's only been a year and a half. Like, do you feel like that's like the time where it should be off by now? Or have you said to yourself, oh, it's only been a year and a half. Let me give myself a break.
Um, the first, because I feel like and social media doesn't help. Not to say that it's social media fault that I feel this way. It's just it's easy to compare yourself to other people, especially like somebody who had not had Ashton Lord, had a baby around the same time I had, and they had so much more success or didn't gain as much weight. Although I know logically, going back to that, like I know that everybody's different, every pregnancy is different. um I can't really compare myself to anybody else because I am me. It's just
Mm-hmm.
hard, it's hard not to. I don't know, it's something I've been trying to establish, like regain myself, my not self, well, I guess it is like a self image or positive body image, like accepting where I am now and doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a progress, it's process. I'm still sitting here like, how long does this gonna take? Like, geez.
Mm-hmm.
Because I eventually want to have more kids, but I don't want to go into it being this high of a weight and possibly, I mean, realistically, I will gain, more weight if I was to, you
Yeah.
know, get pregnant at this weight, and I don't want to do that because I want to be able to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's the anxiety added onto it because I know that I want to try again soon, and it's just like this should have been off by now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my second one.
Okay. That's funny. I literally have body image written down as well.
Not
So we
planned at
are in the
all.
right, not at all. We didn't have this conversation. Um, so another one of my insecurities is that as well, my body. I did gain a decent amount of weight, and then I would say within the last couple years, I started getting, more serious about losing the weight and everything. And I did lose the weight, but I also have insecurities about certain body parts that I feel like are not um doing much changing. Like I feel like my love handle areas are not changing as much as I as much as I would like it to. Certain shirts or pants that I put on, I feel like I see things that I don't like, and then I've also gotten comments from people as well, mainly positive things, but um I think I posted this on social media, but a few weeks ago, my one coworker, she's very, very outspoken and everything. She didn't mean anything by this, but I wore this one shirt, and it's meant to look a little bit big, but I'm I like swim in this shirt now, and I didn't realize it until this person pointed it out to me. She said, "Girl, Taylor, you need to go shopping. You swimming in that shirt. That shirt is way too big." And she didn't mean anything by it. Um, she actually goes to the place that I used to work out at. She knows my journey and everything, but especially that day, it made me feel really insecure about myself. Like, oh shoot, I'm losing all this weight, but now I'm starting to look funny, and she talking about my shirt in front of everybody, and she didn't mean anything by it, but it made me feel really insecure about it. Um, and then also I feel like I'm losing my shape a little. Yeah, and this is just recently. I feel like I'm losing my shape a little bit, and there's certain things that I don't want to lose. I do not want to lose my shape. Um, and also I'm insecure that. that I'm going to gain it back. I am
Mm,
very, very, very worried about that. I am super excited about this trip, but I have high anxiety that um, I'm going to come back and not get back on the train and get back into working out as much as I have been. I'm nervous that the same thing that happened, the last time we went on a cruise. I came back, I stopped working out for months, hopped on the scale, and I gained everything back plus 10, 15 pounds. I'm super nervous and I'm going to gain everything right back. And then all this stuff I've been talking on social media about, yeah, I lost this and yeah, let's get it. I've never said that out loud. I'm really nervous about that. Really nervous.
yeah, I could definitely relate to that. Because I think that's kind of something that I put in my head, like, oh, I'm just gonna gain it back, so why even bother
Mm,
trying to lose it? Because it's not gonna stay off. But because I mean that's basically what happened the first time I lost my weight. I was really into like working out and everything, eating healthy. I lost like maybe 70 pounds, 70, 75
mm,
pounds. And I was just like, okay, it's over. And went back to what I was doing before and pretty much gained it all back. So
mm,
that's I definitely agree with that. Like that's another paranoia. And I think I kind of get in my own head and
mm,
talk myself down like, oh, there's no point in working out harder, or there's no point in working out today, or I can go ahead and eat this, because I'm just gaining it back anyway.
mm,
So yeah, I definitely that's that's so real. Like, and logically, of course, we don't want to gain it back. And I think since I was much younger, I'm in a whole nother mindset. Like it's not just me anymore.
mm.
So there's more reason to not want to get back to that point, but it's still like in the back of my mind, like,
And it just sucks because it's happened before, like you said.
yeah. So it's you got the history to prove,
Mm-hmm.
your negativity. So whew, yeah, that struck a nerve.
Yeah.
Cause I definitely feel you on that. Cause I think that's the biggest reason why I get in my head, especially when it comes to running. Cause back then I used to run all the time. And
Mm,
of course it'll come up in my memories and stuff. And I I know what I need to do to get it off, like going back to the basics. But it's also like, why am I wasting my time if I know what's gonna happen?
mm.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
think.
carrying that baggage. Like you go into a new
Mm,
relationship and you carrying that old baggage,
yes.
but it's with yourself. It's so weird.
Mm-hmm. Crazy how the mind works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that this time around, it's a little bit different because when I lost it last time, it was my goal was to lose this amount of weight or, be at this weight by the cruise. This time I didn't really have a time limit on it. Like I wasn't getting in shape so that I can wear a bikini on the trip or anything like that. I was doing it just to, get healthier.
Yeah.
So I honestly I think I will be okay, but I need to keep it in the back of my mind. Taylor, don't go all out. Don't eat a burger 4 times out of the day. So yeah, I'm still gonna enjoy myself, but I am gonna make sure that I don't forget what I need to do when I come back.
Yeah, that's the struggle too, the balance of, enjoying yourself and not beating yourself up to for enjoying
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So it's definitely a tough balance. Yeah, I ain't got no choice but to enjoy myself because I probably won't be going on no trip like this for a few years. But I agree. I don't want to just go out and gain 10, 15 pounds because I'm just eating because it's there.
I'm also not going to be eating salads all the time. I'm still going to eat what I want. Just kind of be careful and not and watch my portions. Um,
Yeah. And I've noticed since I've been trying to eat healthier, like although I do fall off the wagon, like when I do fall off the wagon, like I feel sluggish, feel sick, like
mm,
I know I shouldn't have ate it and it feels heavy on me versus like a more healthier meal. So I think that's like the whole lifestyle change is going to be helpful with the cruise. Like although you're going to definitely eat something that's quote unquote unhealthy, I
mhm.
think our mind and body is trained like I don't want to eat this all the time.
Right.
So hopefully that helps us out in our favor.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll get through it.
My top three insecurities, I guess this is number three. Um Honestly, my career.
Mm,
So that's a big insecurity for me because I feel like I finally realized what I wanted to do. Like I said, like in high school, I had this whole like my whole life pretty much mapped out like before I hit junior year. And
mm,
of course when I got to college, I realized, like I went to college for like criminal justice and I there was no way like I would do like any police work. Pretty much with criminal justice degree, it's like police officer or you continue on your education to become a lawyer.
mm,
So and that wasn't really, I didn't want to do either one of those, but I knew I was really into crime and stuff like that. I wanted to kind of be some type of investigator, but I didn't want to do any police work or anything like that.
mm.
Anyhow, boy, it's just funny how I thought I had it figured out in high school, but but like now I kind of have an idea of what I want to do and I'm really insecure to kind of take that leap because it requires me to not be a typical 9 to 5, not have that like security
Mm,
blanket or anything, a steady paycheck every 2 weeks or whatever. And it's also more stakes on the line since I do have my husband, I got Ashton, a mortgage. So it's like
mm,
real insecure. Like, do I take that leap and take a chance on myself and possibly be happier in my career, or do I stay in my safety net to protect basically my assets? So
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of something I've been super insecure about. And it's also on the flip side, it's like, can I even do it?
Mm.
So that's, yeah, that's number three for me.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. That's and it's a lot like to leave that quote unquote security of a 9 to 5 at this big company and to pursuing your dreams of doing something that's not that typical 9 to 5. So,
Right.
uh, man.
It's scary too. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I really want to try like the guilt that I have, the guilt that I would have by not trying far as outweigh the fear of, losing it all. So I think I'm
Mm.
still gonna like take the leap, not right now, but eventually. I still want to at least try to build my platform and try to take that lead because I feel like overall I'd be much more happier. And then like just to set an example for Ashton, like you can do what you want to do regardless of it. Because I don't know, I like talking to my grandparents about it. They're much more old school. They're like, it's kind of too late for all that, like
Mm.
chasing your dreams. But I feel like it's never too late.
No,
Like
it's not.
I don't want to spend 20, 30 years at this place just because it was safe here. And I see a
Mm.
lot of people like at the company where I am now, like who has been there that long, like first job out of college type that long, and they stayed there, although they don't like it, just because it was the easiest thing for them to do. And I don't want to look up years from now and talk about what if.
Hmm.
So It's insecurity, but it still kind of pushes me. That insecurity pushes me to try to at least try.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say go ahead and go for it whenever that is. And within the next 5 years, whenever, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to. I got to at least try. And then it's not like it's the end of the world if I fail. Okay, I can go back, to what I was doing. But I can at least say I did try it.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's my bonus one.
Yeah, that was a good one. So I guess I'll go ahead and close it out with a quote. This quote is by Oscar Wilde, and it says, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." And I love that because it just tells you, don't look and see, what so and so is doing on social media or what
Um,
um cousin so and so is doing. Be yourself, because you're the only person who can be you. Don't try to, look out and see what everybody else is doing and try to change who you are to fit that mold. Just be yourself.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. But I I can see how easy, especially if you are like on social media like that or really into it, especially like with me like trying to build my quote unquote platform. It's really hard for me not to like try to compare like, oh, they're doing this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there yet, or I feel like I'm better than them and they getting more notoriety. I
Mm.
hope I said that right, but
All right.
but yeah, I had to like check myself with that, like, it's gonna come in my own timing, and if it doesn't come, then it wasn't meant for me. But it is really hard, especially in the age of social media nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I do love that quote. Yeah, that's it. Well, you guys, I hate that this like it kind of seems a little sad and then off. I mean, although we all have like insecurities and everything, and we're
Mm-hmm.
all working on it in our own pace, but I just I would just say just don't stay there. Don't
Mm-hmm.
mope in it. Like I know we all have them, but try to do something about it, I guess. This is really awkward, so I'm gonna just go ahead and wrap it up. But that's all that we have. That's all we have for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. And let us know if you want to open up about your insecurities or if you have any tips for us for our insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know. We would love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, that's all we got. I guess we'll see you in another 2 weeks.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.